What's going on, YouTube? AlphonZeus is Team Gradelock here with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks Week. We're going to be going over the latest Cardfight Vanguard episode, Ride 188, as well as results of our local and any more news that we have from Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. So let's get right into the episode. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this before, I'll put it in the spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode yet, please pause and close the video, go watch that episode, and then come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please click on the link in the description down below to get right to the results of our local. So, Ride 188, Cold Ambition. We finally get to see the conclusion of the fight between Sarah and Rati, and we get to see a little bit of what happens afterwards when, apparently, we have Ren and Leon break free Kai, Naoki, and Galliard. So, to get back to the actual card fight, it seems like it's going to be interesting, because now Sarah's rocking the Link Joker, and Rati's still rocking the Witches ever since the beginning of the season, when she premiered it. And this episode in particular, even though as tragic as it might look, I really was satisfied that Rati finally got what's coming to her after all this time. Finally. Well, as I see, surprisingly enough, Rati didn't perform Legion when she rode the Grade 3, which is understandable because the thing is, at that rate, it would be hard to actually have 4 units in the drop zone already unless you heal all damage or you guard a lot before you do ride to Grade 3. But despite the matter of fact, that can actually introduces a little bit of a topic that I'll explain later on after the local results are done in terms of the Legion. Now, we get to see a little bit about Sarah, that he wants to become the true paragon, the true representative, at least, for Link Joker. And the fact that Aichi and Kai, he really, just like with last episode, he didn't feel that they were the appropriate vessel for Link Joker, and so he stepped up. And seeing him actually go Legion, and this part in particular was very, let's say, expressive. It's probably one of the key points of the entire episode, in terms of the card fight, of course. Now, I know I haven't seen his reveal up until this episode, but when I said Imaginary Plane Dragon was the most broken Link Joker Legion of all time, completely scratch that off. This guy, Star Vader Dark Zodiac, is completely the most broken Link Joker Legion I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, just to say the regular skill is just to discard a copy of him, or even the Grade 2 if you're in Legion, to immediately lock a front row and a back row unit. That's pretty broken for the fact that you do not have to pay any counter blast or any soul blast for it. But what's really scary is when he performs Legion. And when he performs Legion, you can counter blast one to Omega lock those cards. That means they won't unlock during your opponent's end phase, which is a complete throwback to Glendios and a tribute to him in that matter, and he becomes even more viable than before. So if you ever pick up a Glendios, it's really good to hold on to it because he can perform really well in the Legion format. Now, some of the more recent card fights that we've seen involve flashbacks to at least, before Aichi was sealed away, how each one was recruited. We get to see Rati actually spend some time with Aichi, and of course, it seems like she's actually grown to like Aichi. Now, before I even move further, yes, I have only watched the Raw episode to try and understand a lot of it, but of course, since it takes a few more days to get the episode, I want to make sure I can upload the Unlocks Week episode by tonight, at least as of this recording. Now, to see that Rati would develop a crush on Aichi is more like a throwaway. It's like they're trying to make us like the character. Because the thing is, each time when I see Rati try and go in for a hit, and each time when Sarah guards, it kind of makes me a little happy inside. I have to admit that. The thing is, this fight in particular, it wasn't like the last couple of card fights that Rati had. Against Kote, against Misaki, it seems that she has lost her luster in terms of the tactics that she does. When replacing the Grade 2s or Grade 3s with zeros for both Kote and Misaki, it seemed like that was completely broken because you got rid of any intercepts or any potential attackers on the rear guard columns in the front row. And the fact that you replaced those with useless zeros seemed like it was completely broken. But in Sarah's case, it seemed like, I got you. There's really nothing else that you could do, especially when she performs the Legion skill. Even when she performs the dreaded Legion skill that replaces those 2 units on your front row with grade 0s, against Sarah, it seems like it was all for naught. Especially when she tried to make a Legion attack. And of course, this makes the victory so much sweeter for Sarah, and unfortunately myself as well. And Sarah dropped that to the pass, and unfortunately Rati wasn't able to do it, only getting a grade 3 and a grade 1. Oh, Rati, you weren't able to help dear Aichi, would you? Well then, I have nothing else to say but lock your face. Just lock it. Just lock, Omega Lock, whatever. This is like the best episode of my life. Oh, what happened to that little evil witch that I thought that put away Misaki like that in such a horrible and heartless way? You really think you could just get away with that scot-free? Oh, no. No, 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 no. Now, after Rati's last stand, we get to see and hear something that Sarah says that we haven't heard in a fairly long time. He actually called Final Turn when he began. And that was a good throwback because I remember in Season 1, Season 2, a lot of people would call out Final Turn, and of course some people would fail, but still, hearing that again now in Season 4, that's pretty awesome. I give Sarah mad props for that, especially for the one to actually beat Rati in a very convincing, very awesome fashion as a betrayal to the Quattro Knights. And of course, the way that he would actually secure that win, of course, I don't know if even Rati drew a perfect guard or whatnot, but when he performed the Legion attack, grade 2, freeze it, pretty much a throwback to the ice prison that Sarah sported when he was still a part of the Quattro Knights. And then Dark Zodiac just blowing that up to oblivion. And Rati, the flashbacks of her trying to at least help Aichi, as well as her visit to Planet Cray, will be forever changed, as now the 4th seal is broken, and the Link's Joker clan can re-invade planet Earth. Now, as we get to the end of the episode, we get to see, after the 4th seal being broken, we get to see the collapse, or at least what it looked like, of the sanctuary. And the thing is, the last part of the episode that I want to discuss hasn't really occurred at the end of the episode, more at the beginning. But I wanted to save that part for last, since the card fight and at least what happened directly after were apparently more important, at least to me. Now we get a little bit more of a flashback when Aichi would actually approach Ren and ask him to be one of the Quattro Knights. Now we see Ren do something, it's something that's just wow. Ren is cool, no matter what he does, and this, when he sits like that, it's hilarious, to be honest. And when he would seriously consider and reject the offer that Aichi presented him to be one of the 4 Quattro Knights, of course he was a little bit taken aback, but of course I'm not sure if I would accept an answer from somebody sitting a little bit like that. And of course I can't understand the Japanese translations, but I'll try my best to just interpret that maybe Ren is just, I have a lot on my plate already. And so that ends the episode with the 5 now all good characters, in terms of just realizing this place is going to collapse. Of course, if I missed anything in the episode, if there's something you want to bring up, feel free to comment down below, get a conversation started. And now let's get to the results of our local. Now, I wasn't there for the Friday Tag Team Tournament. I do know that, at least for my teammates, they told me that 10 teams entered. That's 20 people total. So that's a new record that we broke, at least for the summer, because it's really good to see these guys come in, and even new teams. What I've heard, at least from there, was that the rounds lasted so long, they ended up having to cut the tournament a little bit short, which resulted in a 4-way tie. 3 teams, my teammates didn't really tell me who topped. I know that Henry and CK were one of the teams that topped. However, the other 3 teams seemed to be new to the local, at least that game on. I didn't know what decks they were running at the time, but feel free to comment down below and fill me in on that information. But at least I was there for Saturday, which both the Cardfight Vanguard tournament as well as the Buddy Fight tournament took place. On Saturday, I was running the D-Robos since my Bermuda Triangle Duos weren't really complete at that time. What we ended up doing was, it was about, I think, 14, 13 people, and round 1, I went up against Eric and his Gold Paladins. Not Gold Paladins, Kagero, Steel Dragons. I ended up winning round 1 to the, I ended up winning round 1 because of the break ride. Round 2 went to Eric because I was Gradelock, and I just tried doing aggro, but if I would have gone full aggro and superiorized it to even make it crazier, I probably would have, made it. But game 3 I managed to win because I guess I had the triggers. Game 2 I went up against John, who just came back from his vacation. He was running the Link Joker, Star Raiders as usual, and Chaos Breaker Dragon. He 2-0'd me because I think either I got Gradelock or game 1, and then game 2 he had the control. It was pretty much a limit break game to see who hits limit break first. And apparently, you really don't want Link Joker to hit limit break first because, yeah, you just don't want it to get locked. You really don't. You really don't. I guess the next thing that I can bring up would be round 3, where I went up against Adam. He was running the Gold Paladins. He was running Superior Ride Azel, along with Azel Scissors, but he wasn't running Azel Platinum. And so I was able to at least control the field and take advantage, using reverse Dayusha, because he was able to get the Superior Ride off, but he wasn't able to get Scissors at all. So that's why I was able to at least abuse with reverse Dayusha's skill by making him a 0 Vanguard, which made it very hard for him to block that he had the perfect guard at least once every turn. And then round 4, I went up against Joe L with his Revengers. I managed to win game 1. I think he just had the Raging Form combo off. Game 2, I had to sack in order to win. It all came down to him making a 2 to pass. I dodged like a critical trigger, and I was thinking, alright. And I asked how many cards he had in his hand. He had 5 cards in hand. So even if I did put it all in the rear guard, which would have been swinging for 29k, he still would have had enough to block it. So I ended up, alright, you should get that Vanguard crit, and then boom, I got the damage. And then game 3, he wasn't able to see Raging Form at all. I think I don't know. I honestly thought he had Raging Form game 1. But game 2 and 3, it was nowhere. It was really down at the bottom of the deck, and I don't know how to manipulate the deck at all. I just, cut. That's it. I don't do anything fancy. I don't do the, power, shuffle, poker, whatever. Just simple cut and go. So I managed to actually top 4. The people who topped were John, Chaos Breaker Dragon. We saw CK top with Novell. And then we had another topper in the form of I think it was Travis with Revengers. I'm pretty sure. But those are 4. So we had Link Joker, Revengers, Link Joker, Shadow Paladins, Dimension Police, and Kagero. So that's a pretty good top 4. I got Bermuda packs, but unfortunately I didn't know that the SP, the triple, and the double rare already pulled out of that, so I pulled all rares. But, that's, I don't know. I just want to get the Bermuda deck done. I just need 2 more rates and 4 black art mirrors. Black art mirrors. Maybe white art mirrors. If I'm really that desperate. With the Buddy Fight tournament that took place, I think about 5 people entered. I know 2 people that topped were Dex and Justin. I think Justin was running Dungeon World Hybrid. I think Dex was also running the same thing, or he was running probably a Danger World Don't Let It Go. But if you correct me, comment down below. Now that we have the local results out of the way, there is some news to actually tell you guys from Team Gradelock. In terms of the regional, we already have at least some ride situations out. I'm just trying to make sure I can secure the van for that Saturday, which I'll update the team as we go along. And then, I'm going to see, because from roughly around northern New Jersey, it's a 2-hour drive at least in order to get from there to Albany and then Albany and back. So it's a 4 hours of drive time right now. So far, I know that Josh, CK, myself, Alex, Jason, Henry, at least the 6 of us were going to be going. I think Arturo will be as well. In terms of staying there, I honestly think that we're going to end up having only a few people stay behind for the Waste and the Buddy Fight tournament, because I know that I will be unable to do so because I have an LSAT course that I will have to go to on Sunday afternoon. And even though it's a makeup class, I do strongly believe that, I have a future in law, and I want to enter law school and all of that, because, that's a career choice. In terms of the rest of the news that's going on lately, Game On, I'm happy that they're restocked of some of their supplies. especially the future card Buddy Fight trial deck for Dungeon World, because heaven knows I should have got a trial deck instead of the boosters. But next time, if I top, I'll be make sure to put up something like that. Now, in terms of other things going on, at least for this week, for uploads, we have a match. I want to call it a casual series match because it's a bit more serious. We have a money match between CK and Henry, so feel free to look up one of those fights, maybe around the Wednesday mark or the Thursday mark. We're gonna see if we can do another deck profile for you, since you guys do like that. I'm gonna see who we're gonna be featuring this week. And then we have finally a video project for Domino Paris 21. As I said before, he was one of the most prolific YouTubers of Cardfight Vanguard, and with the channel spotlight, we finally got recordings with at least Henry, Josh, John, and myself, along with Alex, who is on cameraman and asked some really good questions. So we're gonna have Domino put a video up there, and then we'll have, I guess, a re-upload, or we'll just refer it right back to his channel. So those are the major projects that we had, at least the two major recordings that we have for this week. And hopefully we'll see what happens next. I know that a big thing that we had, actually after the locals, we ended up going to the nearby store, just relax and just talk about the team. And Arturo brought up a good point that, hey, we're heading in local tournaments, that's pretty much it. We need to play test. And of course, people like Josh, CK, and Henry, they play test a lot. They've been play testing while we were at the store even. So, it's kind of like a wake-up call saying, hey, we're a team. And the thing is, though, we started, like, I remember when Josh, myself, Mike, Rowan, Darnell, Otto, when the six of us started Team Iron Man 12, which was our original Team Iron Man, I honestly had no idea it would actually go to this proportion where we have 9 active members. We have a YouTube channel that we've been, trying to provide a lot of good content for, and just stepping up our game. And we top, at the team league, my team with Jason and Alex, we had 10th place. And CK, Arturo, and Josh, they managed to grab 3rd place at that tournament. And then we even have Arturo, who even went on to win the Ohio Regionals, as well as win the National Championship of Buddy Fight. And so, it's realization like, hey, this can be something big. And I am humbled and just at the same time psyched, because now this can actually, we can actually really head out a lot. We're even going into just, making we're making official playmats for our team. I know that beforehand at the team league, I even made Joe L helped make the cards in terms of business cards. So like, if you guys haven't seen this little bit right here, we managed to have business cards made so we can pass them out so people would go to our YouTube channel and start it. Because as of course recently, if you've seen the commercials, we finally monetized all of our videos. So we're stepping up our game even more. And what I do hope to do in the future in terms of giveaways, because I know I teased that a lot before in these Unlock the Week episodes, is that maybe we can take a play set of some cards and try and give them away, or maybe deck sleeves, deck boxes. It's a lot of stuff we can give away. Is that we'll probably have to amass even bigger subscriber base and really hit the pavement running in terms of promoting the videos out, making sure these are higher quality videos, because up until now, or at least even beyond now, I've been using Windows Movie Maker in order to edit these videos together. And of course I want to upgrade. I want to try out Sony Vegas Pro. I want to try out Adobe After Effects. I want to try out a lot of different more high quality video editing software outside of the basic movie maker that I currently have right now. But according to my financial situation, I am unable to do that because I am trying to get into law school, and it's it's tough because now it's like a decision. But hopefully later on in the week, we'll see what we can do in terms of playtesting sessions. Maybe we can stream or even record one of them. We can point out the misplay, or maybe have a little mini game where we play a deck and then say, point out the misplay here, and maybe you can win something. whatever the case may be, we have ideas that we're bouncing around, and we'd be more than happy to even get input from the community as well. Because when I was part of Team Iron Man 12, and when we reformed to make Team Gradelock, I saw this more as a community building effort because this past Saturday, I actually saw a group of players that I have not seen before that were actually playing Cardfight Vanguard. And I was talking like, yeah, man, we're just getting into it. We're playing just, trial decks. And I was, surprised because, I've only been the game on up until now. Or at least, I go to comics and toys as well as my other local. And to see that new players are picking up the game, picking up trial decks, and then they're just getting used to the thing like, oh man, I got, hit, for double critical at 3 damage. And it's like, oh man, yeah, it was Gradelock that won. And, Jason, Alex, and I, we were like, yep, that's the game. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. It's gonna. Those are the two things that you're probably gonna hate about Vanguard. But I don't know. It's really awesome to see that the community is growing even more. And I really hope to see new players come in every week and just test their skills against us, test their skills against maybe the other teams that come the game on, and hopefully in the future we can even expand to other locals. That's, I guess, our bigger end goal. I know that on Sundays, I know that a couple of members of Team Gradelock, they go out to at least Time Warp, and they try and compete in the tournaments there. Of course, Sunday's family day for me, so I will be unable to do that. And then as we expand even further, I'm not sure. The sky's the limit right now. It's just that I know that the rest of the team, they can really just perform well, just top, win, and stuff like that. I kind of at that little crossroads right now. I can try and be in both places at once, but of course I have a career choice that I made. But don't worry, I won't forget about this YouTube channel. I will still contribute as much as I can, at least, because after at least takes my LSATs at the end of September, I should be at least more focused on this more than anything. But up until that time, I know that my focus is a bit divided, but I'll do what I can. And of course, I'm looking forward to that day where I can now have my decks complete, because with OTT, I ended up, in terms of even creating decks, I think if you guys want to see how to build decks or trigger lineups, especially metas and stuff like that, we're seeing what type of new video content we can, go about. I know that some people really suggested about charity, and I was thinking, yeah, as if we can build up even a stronger audience, we'll be more than happy to do stuff with charity. It's a big way to give back to the community as well as contribute to a very good cause. Outside of that, and just think of brand new video ideas, something that goes outside the box, outside of the traditional deck profiles, matches, trade binders, unlock the week videos now. We got it. So that's it for this week of Team Gradelock's Unlock the Week. I hope that you've enjoyed this week that I've unlocked for you, and from Team Gradelock to you guys and gals, I hope that you are awesome and stay awesome, and we'll see you all next time. So take care. Later.